Hello everyone, welcome back to CSC 151. In this video, we're going to be going over how to create the budget calculator. Okay, so first and foremost, let's go and take a look at the instructional packet. Let's take a look and see what the, what the rubric is and what the, I'm going to say, worst case scenario, if that ever happens and it doesn't load, you can always hit the download button and download directly to your computer. So, this is what we generally have as far as how this goes. Now, most of this you already know how to do, so let's just start this up. So first and foremost, let's go and find our project. I could go through Excel and actually go to previous, but let me go find it the way I have it. So users, myself, my documents, there is Lincoln Spring, there's examples, there it is. So it's always a good thing to know where it is that you're going, make sure you know where things are. So then of course we're going to start off once again by clicking on a new sheet. And once again, as always, let's make sure that we have ourselves a new name on this. So let's go and say this was a finance sheet or budget sheet. Let's go with budget sheet. And, of course, as always, let's put our name on it. And let's put today's date on it. Today's the 22nd, yes. Okay, so if we take a look at this, what we see is we see three separate areas. We got income, expenses, and grand totals. So basically, what we would wind up having is whatever we get as far as income minus whatever we get from expenses equals our totals. And that's what we're going to do here. So I'm going to make three areas, and we'll have it so that we have ourselves a couple of things here. So we got pay per month, number of months, pay per year. And you'll see why we have that. So let me just do that. So let me just go and make these guys. This will be merge and center these guys. And this will be my, pay. This is my income area. And of course, money is green here. So you know what? I'll just hit green for good. Yeah, if you noticed up in this ribbon, once again, by the way, if you don't have it, just click it and it'll pop up. The Insert Home tab, draw all that. We're going to be on the home page. We do have these options here, just general normal things that are preset in. Headings, that sort of stuff. I'm just going to click good. There we go. Income is good. Yay, we all like income. So now it's just a matter of just situations of saying, well, what do you get income from? So, first and foremost, let's just say, I get income from Lincoln University. I also get income from Wilmington University. You know what, let's just say I get income from stocks. Do I actually get income from stocks? Who knows? This is an example. I would have to check the stock market and see. Probably the answer is no. But, I don't know, maybe I have, if you're doing anything in science or anything, or, grants. You get grants in school. You get scholarships. All the different possible things that you can, I have, like, 2 in this example, and I can guarantee you that those 2 are not accurate in any way, shape, or form. But let's just say, I have numbers and whatnot there. So, that's what we're going to do. And then we're just going to break this down to, pay per month. And then, number of months. And that'll give us a total. Oops. Well, you know what? It gives us a pay per year. And you know what? I realize I don't actually need this column right here. So, you know what? It's a good thing that I make these mistakes along the way while I'm doing this anyway, because I can showcase you guys what not to do as well. Like, for example, don't go and just start dragging things around after you're already in the program running. You'll lose data. But, say I made this and went, oh, I don't want this column. I can just go over here. I've got insert column and I've got delete column. So I'll just go and delete the cells, and I'll just say, delete entire column here. Boom, there's the column is now gone. There it goes. So now I'll just, stretch this out some. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Why not? That's doable. So now I've got, and I'll make this guy, I'll make these guys, you know what? I'll make it a very light green. And that's also a very light green. There we go. And do I have this thing? Yeah, I have it italicized. Let me go italics. Let me go italics. So now there we go. Now it's time for me to just make up some random numbers. So I'm just going to say pay per month at Lincoln University, I don't know, $2,000. Why not? Now you'll notice, because I put $2,000 in there, it automatically tried to turn this into a currency. I have it in this guy, I have it as accounting. Why do I have it in accounting? So, here's what will happen if, say, this 2,000 became negative 2,000. It will then have the parentheses around it. This matters in stuff. Also, I like the fact that it's not just smushed over, that the dollar sign is all the way on the left-hand side. So we're just going to assume that we're having positive numbers. We're going to assume that we're not having negative paychecks. Okay? Let's say I get, 3,000. Oh, look, I didn't actually have this. So let me click this. Let me go and make sure, switch it to accounting. Or better yet, let me select all of this column right here, or this area. Let me put all of that in accounting. So my stocks, I don't know, 1,000. Why not? Grants, I don't know, 500. And scholarships, I don't know, 250. Why not? There we go. Those are my incomes. They're not my actual incomes, but we're just going to say they are. Also, you notice how everything ends in a .00? Yeah, it's kind of redundant if we're already rounding to the nearest dollar, so let's just click the decrease decimal button, and let's get rid of those dollar amounts. And I have the phone call happening right now. I'll have to get back to that after I'm done with this video. So, now it's just a matter of saying number of months. How many months in a year do I get paid this? Well, let's see. I'm a school teacher. There's 2 semesters, not counting summer semester, which, hardly any students go to. But, so let's just say, 12 divided by 3 is 4, 8. Let's say I go 8 months out of the year like that. There we go. Same with this, 8 months. And you know what? Stocks, we'll say 12. Why not? And grants, I don't know. That only happens 4, and that only happens 4. I've completely made these numbers up. But here is the point of where we actually have something to do. I could literally just figure out that, okay, pay per month, number of months, 2 times 8 is 16. Ergo, I could just literally type, 16,000, and I can do it like that. But here's the problem. So let's just say I have 16,000. And there's my 16,000, and I'll put it in accounting format, don't worry. But what happens if I go, oops, wait a minute, actually I get 2,200? Well, now this 16,000 is inaccurate, because I did not take into account that extra $200 times 8. So that's actually 17,600. So we have ourselves a problem. This information right here is wrong. It's inaccurate. So what I'm going to have to do instead is make an equation. An equation is something that will automatically update every single time you do anything. So if I say this guy is equal to this cell times the little star there, this cell. So this cell, whatever is in this, will always be this cell multiplied by this cell. I hit enter, or the return key, to get out of this. And there it is, 1760. But if I switch this and say, oh wait, actually, it was actually 1,200, you'll notice that this guy has now changed to 960. And same thing if I were to say, it's actually 1,700. Boom, 1,360. It changes over and over again. So, once again, let me just switch these guys to accounting format, just because I like accounting format. And let me get rid of those dots. There we go. And same thing. So start with an equal sign to say that you're doing an equation. first cell multiplied by the second cell. And it's just a matter of figuring out what information you wind up having. Same thing, equal this cell times this cell. Boom. Equals this cell times this cell. Boom. Equals this cell times this cell. So basically, we're just putting in, or you're putting in, whatever information you have. If you have a 9-to-5 job, put your 9-to-5 job in here. If you get money from grandma every month, you get money from grandma every month. Put that in there. If you, if you're just, if you have scholarships or tuition stuff, anything like that, anything that is income that is coming to you, put it in here. And we'll see how, and we're just going to use these equations to calculate how much we have. And then at the end of that, we're going to give ourselves a total. So let me just, I'll put total in neutral, why not? Total. And you know what? Total is going to be obviously equal. Now I could do this guy plus this guy plus this guy plus this guy plus this guy. That will work. However, there are also specialty words that will do the same exact thing. For example, equal sum. Sum is obviously a sum of all its parts. Sum being the collective put together. And you'll see number 1, comma, number 2, so on and so forth. So whatever's going to be inside these parentheses is going to be my range of numbers. So my first number is from D6, and if I put a colon, and I select my last number, D10, you'll notice it grabs everything from D6 through D10. And it's going to sum them all together, which means add them up. And it winds up, that's 52,600, which, that's this number plus this number plus this number plus this number plus this number. And because all of this are equations, if any of these guys change, oops, that's not a 3, that's a 2. You'll notice not only does this number change, but my end result down here also changes because it's an equation based off of this. And let me do the same thing over here. Equal sum. There we go. So this is how much I would get per month if this was my income, and this is how much I would get per year if this was, true. Obviously, I can't just add months together with sum. That won't make any sense. I would have 8, 16, 38, 42. I would have 46 months in a year. That doesn't make sense to have 46 months in a year. So we're not going to use sum for this. We're going to leave this blank. And then we basically would do the same thing, but this time with, with expenses. So let me just grab this, and let me just put this merge and center, put it in bad, why not? Let's say expenses. Because obviously we have, or costs or something, cost per month, number of months, and cost per year. There we go. And of course, now it's a matter of just figuring out how many different things you have to pay for in a month. So I will put this in, I'll put that in a peachy color, why not? So this is where we'll have things like, whatever it is we wind up having. So maybe, I don't know, the Netflix account, or, rent payments, and, utilities, and internet, because that's separate from utilities for some reason. Even though if you, go to Germany, it's actually considered a utility. Or what else do we have here? I know I have an Amazon account, why not? Oh, wait, hold up. I actually have all this cloud data subscription service stuff, specifically to host videos and put all this stuff up. Same with the website, same with etc., etc., etc. I could have, 20 bajillion things down here. Point being, we're going to just grab as many of the normal ones that we can think of. Are we going to think of every single one of them? Probably not. But tell you what, I will just go and make sure that these guys are in accounting format with no decimal points. These guys are going to be in accounting format with no decimal points. And how much is Netflix a month? 15 bucks? 15 bucks. How much is rent? Let's just say $7.50. Why not? We'll say that. Utilities. Let's say, see, gas, electric, whatever. We'll say $200. Why not? Internet. We'll say $80. I don't have a phone bill on here, so screw it. I will make this guy phone bill. I actually have my phone paid off, so that's $50. Website. That probably tracks down to, that's a yearly subscription. I'll say $200. And I'll just put number of months 1 for that, since it's a yearly subscription. Cloud, that's, you know, 40 bucks between the Adobe and the Microsoft and all that. And Amazon, I feel like that's like a 150, but that's also one of those one-time a thing. 12, because I pay for it every month, pay for it once a year, I think. Pay for it every month. And once again, now we would do equals this guy times this guy. And you know what? Realistically, once I get one of these guys correct, like once I get one of these equations correct, I don't have to keep going equal this guy times this guy. Because here's a little secret about formulas. And I'll showcase it like this over here. I'm just going to have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. If I say equal this guy plus this guy, and if I were to copy and paste this, because, you know, 1 plus 2 equals 3, copy this, and then move it down here, you'll notice it now says 9. How did my 3 become a 9 if I was copying and pasting? Well, that's because the location of my equation also moved. This H11 is not remembering H11. It's remembering that this cell that I want to reference is 1, 2 to the left. And this other cell that I want to reference is 1, 2 to the left, and 1 down. So if we look over here, 1, 2 to the left, and 1, 2 to the left, and 1 down. These guys right here are relative. If I want to make sure they never move, I have to put dollar signs before the column and the row. Dollar sign, dollar sign. Now, if I were to copy and paste this, it doesn't matter where I'm located, they stay in place. So dollar signs equal stays in place. No dollar sign will move with you. And the way I've designed this in such a way, I have it that you'll notice every single, trying to just zoom in a very natural way without having it get all jerky, but there we go. You'll notice that every single thing is always 2 to the left. I built this out in columns so that the information is always in the same place relative to the equation. So all I need to do is copy, paste, 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 and you'll notice it's still referencing the same stuff. If you build something in a way that it's repeatable, you can just repeat it. So when you're making something, make sure you're using columns, make sure you're using rows. Proper planning will help you out so much in the long run. And once again, let's make ourselves an actual total area. So let's go with, you know, total. And of course, as always, equal sum. And I can do click and drag to do a range as well. That will also work. Boom. And equal, you know, sum of you guys. Click and drag. Boom, there we go. So according to this chart, I make $5,450 a month, and I only spend $1,485, which means every month, or every year, I guess, I'm probably gaining something like 30,000 every year, which is complete bullcrap. I do not do that well in life. So this is all fictional numbers right here and right here, but point is we're learning these equations. That's what we're doing. And then, of course, same thing down here, we're going to have grand totals. So let me go in here, let me just boop, 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 and I had this as blue, but you know what? Let's go with, what's a nice one? Oh, there's accent 1. Boom, there we go. Merge and center. And I will say grand totals. There we go. And for the sake of it, let me just go and put this in light blue. And light blue. There we go. A nice ice color. So this would be monthly totals. Helps when I can spell monthly correctly. There we go. This would be yearly totals. Oh, by the way, I think I wanted to italics and italics that. And let me italics you guys and italics you guys. Boom, there we go. And italics you guys. So I know that out of all my, I've got myself my income and my expenses. So income, whoop, and then expenses. So I know that this and this. Now what I see people do, and they're wrong to do this, is they go and say, oh, I see what my monthly expenses are. It's 1485. No, 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 no. You're forgetting the fact that we're dealing with, we're dealing with nothing that has any sense in it. But in real life, we would have had sense in this. We would have had, something really, really small. So basically, if I were to say, think of it like this. Saying equals 1 divided by 3 is 0.33333333. But if I simply type 0.33333333, they look the same. This looks the same as this, but they're not. If I increase the decimal points on this, those 3 stop right when I told them to stop. This one, though, those 3s keep going up until the computer decides to stop it right there. But point being, these two numbers are not the same. When you're dealing with these complex these are not really complex calculations. We're literally just multiplying 2 things, and then we're just doing adding. But point being is that when we're dealing with equations, we're going to be more accurate. If we type something in, that's only, this might look like 1485, but there could be a dot 9, 8, 4, 5, 6, 9, 3, 2, 5, 1. It could go on for 27 more digits. We're not taking into consideration the hidden part of this. So we're going to always use equations. So the expenses is just going to be equal to the expenses cell. And of course, obviously, there was absolutely no decimal points anyway, but point being, we're being accurate. We're making sure that we know for a fact that this is an equation. I double-click it, it's an equation. And same thing over here, equals, you were B11. There we go. And let me switch you to accounting and get rid of your decimal points. And I'll make you guys accounting and get rid of your decimal points. And same thing, you're going to be equal. So that should be D11. We just make sure. Yes, it's D11 up there. By the way, just because it was D11 on mine does not mean it's D11 on yours. Just recognize where you're putting the information. I'm just grabbing my total. I'm grabbing specifically my pay per year total of my income. If your pay per year total is over on G5 or, it's on E37 or whatever, that's the number you're going to type. That's the cell number you're going to type in. Don't just copy my work. And same thing over here, equals, I'm going to grab that total, boom. So now we've got ourselves the totals and the totals here, which means we can make ourselves an actual grand total area and total. So once again, equal. Now obviously, income minus expenses, boom. And same thing over here, equal income minus expenses, boom. And that's, you know, in theory, according to this sheet that I just made, that is, in theory, my income, my expenses, and my grand totals of how I could calculate, you know, my finances. Now, is that actually what my finances are? Obviously not. No. I would be very happy at having a $31,000 profit every year. I'm nowhere close to this number. So yeah, no. If anyone here wants to give the teacher a hard time about, oh, you know, what do you mean grading papers is tough and you have 200 of them to grade and everyone's handing them in late, I should be able to hand mine in late too. Yeah, no, I'm not getting paid enough for that. Get your work in on time. But yeah, no. So that's basically what it is. And that's the phone going again. I'm going to check that after I make this video. And so, once again, as always, let's go and make sure, go into the view section. Let's take a look and see, how does it look like in page layout? Oh yeah, it'll totally fit on one page. We're good to go. So, you know, we'll make sure that we go and save this. You know, command save, and we'll go and put it into, you know, send the .xls file through there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But yeah, no, we're starting to work on coding now. We're starting to go into actual coding on the computer. That's what we've learned today. The rest of this is just colors and merging and centering. You've already done that. See you guys in the next video.